Okay, so here is a quick walkthrough for the beginner level of the first three lessons in CodeHS. So if you're in the beginner level, you needed to start in Unit 2 Web Design, HTML structuring websites. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to watch the videos or do the quizzes that you can do on your own. It's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm mostly going to focus on the exercises. The examples also are just kind of showing you what to look for. So I highly encourage you to watch the videos and then look through the examples because most often they are going to cover exactly what they want you to do in the exercise. So if you see it in the video and then look at it in the example, it should make the exercise fairly easy. So I'm going to jump into this first exercise um, in lesson 2.1. And it is pretty short and sweet. So it wants us to say hello. All right, so our directions, if you come over here to assignment, all right, it says create a hello World Wide Web HTML page. Use a H1 tag to create the heading hello World Wide Web. They even tell you where to put it. So we're going to come in here and we're going to have an H1 tag. We're going to type exactly what they see there. And rather than type, we can also do a Control C and copy. Control V and paste, just get rid of that quote. All right, and we save, submit, continue, we're done. All right, and that is lesson 2.1. All right, we're gonna move on to lesson 2.2, which is the structure of a web page. Again, we've covered this in Unit 2, but I know a lot of you are choosing this because for whatever reason, you may not have gotten all of that. So again, the video, I encourage you to watch it, take the quiz. We look at a couple of examples. So here's an HTML template. This is an example. So for these examples, we can see page content goes here. Notice the title of our page. That again is what would show up in that browser tab up here where I see HTML template CodeHS. That's what that title code does. So again, to play around with it, you can just changing the content. It's inside the body tag. You refresh, all right, and it will update it. Okay, so again, these examples are just to sort of get you to play around a little bit. This next example, all right, we have a heading, all right, and then it wants you to add additional text as a paragraph. So one way I could do that, I could get rid of that little comment, and that's going to show up. Okay, but you can type, so basically anything you type in the body, whether if it's not in a tag at all, it's going to be just kind of standard default like you see here, or in a paragraph tag that'll make it a section. But again, the H1, H2, that's just a way of saying how big you want it to be. General text, we typically want to put in a paragraph tag like you see here. This next section is about using comments. In HTML, you do comments, so less than, exclamation, and 2 dashes, and you end it. So basically, that will allow you to put comments for yourself. So it's again just showing comments are important. This is not a comment. You do see this. So notice anything in an H1, or if I were to change those H1s, doesn't really matter. I could change it to an H5. The first and ending need to be the same. It's going to be smaller. I can make it a paragraph tag. Again, this is just me playing around, showing you how things can change. All right, if it's in an element, heading, paragraph, it's going to show up. A comment, again, it starts with a less than, exclamation, double dash, ends in double dash, and a greater than sign. That is just in the design view. It never shows up on the page. All right, now we have an exercise. All right, so I'm going to click Get Started, and I'll go back and look at my assignment. All right, so you'll be practicing using the title tag. All right, the given HTML code displays Carol's webpage, but there's no title. Your job, set the title of the webpage to be all about Carol. So I'm going to come into the head section, which is where the title tag goes. I'm going to create that title tag. I'm going to type all about Carol. And I'm going to save. And then I'm going to submit. And I've got all green check marks. All right, and now we've got another exercise for our first HTML page. All right, so we're going to create our web page with the title My Web Page. So this is where it probably helps to use VS Code a little bit. So I don't know if I have it downloaded on my laptop that I'm doing. Let's see if I do. I do. So here's an easy way to use VS Code and CodeHS together. All right, these are other sites I've had open in the past. So I'm just going to go to File, New File. I'm just going to do CodeHS.html. And this is going to be my generic starter file. I'm going to do exclamation point, enter. And now I've got all that boilerplate code. I can copy and paste that. All right, I have way more than I need right now. But the title should be my first web page. So I'm going to come here to the title. I'm going to do my first web page. And then the content of the page should have an H1 that states your favorite band. So any content on the page goes inside the body. H1. All right. Favorite band. That is a tough one. All right, let's just go Jackson 5. Okay. And there we go. That shows up. Again, I go to my assignment, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. And if I need to type it out, my favorite band is. All right, I can save that. Submit and continue. All right, your title must have the text My First Web Page. So sometimes these things happen. I might have misspelled it. So I'm going to close and double check I have everything. Okay, so I did not. It's very, very literal. So web page actually should be together, but it's a different. So if I submit and continue now, all right, I've got that fixed. So you see all green check boxes. You are good to go. We're going to submit and continue. All right, and we're on to our last required lesson for day one. Again, we have a video quiz, an overview for dictionary. I'm going to skip ahead because those are all things you can look through on your own. All right, we're going to practice some formatting tabs. So I'm going to go into assignment, use HTML formatting tags. So I want to bold each vocabulary word in the definition by indicating it's strongly important. Italicize each vocabulary word by indicating its emphasis. All right, so I can go over to docs. This is really tic-tacky. So how many words do I have? Okay, so I will show you kind of so to bold a word, so I would do a B, and a backslash B around it, just so we can tell. All right, that would make it bold. And we also wanted to so then in the sentence. So I believe I would come down here, and I think it's a EM for emphasis. Refresh. So there you can see the word is bold. and then I put an EM around. So we're going to do that. I'm not going to walk through every single step, but you should get it. So I'm going to go down now to the next vocabulary word, which is concoction. So around that word, I'm going to do, and these are what we call in-line elements. They can be done inside a line of code. So notice it's inside the paragraph tag. So that'll bold word concoction. I'm going to find the word concoction. I'm going to put a opening EM in front of it. And then the other option is to cut and paste back. So again, I would continue that. There's two more. For time's sake, I'll skip those, but that's all you're doing is in the term, put a bold, then in the sentence, all right, put an EM. All right, I'm going to submit and continue. I know I didn't do all of them, but I'm going to continue anyway. Okay, add in BR tags and break tags to make each of the pet names listed appear on its own line. So for each name, I'm just going to do a BR after. I'm going to Control C to copy. And I'm going to paste. I'm going to paste. And the third one, I shouldn't have to do that because they're all on their own line. All right. So that was it. So there's BR as a line break. So we put one after Lilith, one after Jasper. Notice these are empty elements. There is no /BR. It's just a singular tag. All right, this next one gives us some starter code. We want to use H1, H2, H3, H4, HR, which is the horizontal rule, and the emphasis to transform the page to look like the page below. Okay, so what I'm going to attempt to do here, this one is gonna look at the largest. So it looks like the title is the largest. So I'm gonna put H1, and it's almost easier to delete and type. So I'll put Call of the Wild with the H1 tag. It looks like the author's name by Jack London. That looks like an H2. And again, we want the content to be surrounded by the opening and closing. All right, this one also looks like it has the emphasis placed around it. So I'm also gonna do an EM. So notice the kind of staggering. I have H2 first, then EM. So Jack London is kind of double nested. It's inside this EM, which is inside the H2. All right, then after that, there is a line, which is a horizontal rule. So I'm going to do an HR. Then for the table of contents, that looks to be a little bit smaller than the last one. So I'm going to make that an H3. And I'm having to delete the one that automatically puts, okay? And then after that, there's another horizontal rule. So we'll do another HR tag. And then it looks like our table of contents is all an H4. Now, this is where it might become a pain. I don't think I can just do an H4 around the front and the beginning. I guess I technically could and do line breaks, but I think I'm going to have to do that on every single one. So, and down the road, this is where it'd be so nice if we could do some CSS externally to solve all this, but I'm just pasting a H4 in front of each, and now I'm gonna copy that closing tag. I'm gonna paste. All right, and now I'm gonna go to output, and I'm gonna see how mine looks. All right, looks to be pretty similar. So I'm gonna submit and continue, and it looks like I got all green check marks. So I am good to go. Alrighty, and I just got my formatting badge, and I am done with the required lessons for day one of the beginner level of the advanced HTML unit.